Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round. We're discussing Dexter, Season 7, Episode 9, known as Helter Skelter. I'm here with co-host Deano Jackson. Say hi.
What's up?
And we're joined by Todd Grendel from BMZ Now. How you doing, Todd?
I am well. How are you?
Pretty good. And we might be joined later by David Cood if he happens to log in. But he may have forgotten us. That happens.
It does happen, particularly when you've got a lot of RPGs to play, so I understand.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, I just want to start out. Basically, there's a lot of Debra stuff, a lot of Hannah stuff in this particular episode. Of course, this episode started with Hannah getting kidnapped and Dexter running errands for Isaak to free her.
Yeah. It seems like Isaak doesn't really like the fact that people are trying to kill him, and he would kind of like to stop the people that are trying to kill him. So it's like he has to send in someone that they don't know who is a good killer. Who does he know like that? Dexter, the Dark Avenger. I like the first time he comes over there and Isaac's just all like, yeah, here's the situation and I need your help. And Dexter's like, yeah, I get that. Which led to the kidnapping.
Yeah, that's... he was rather nonchalant about it, too. He's just like, no, not going to happen. Yeah, you're gonna kill me. Oh, no.
Anything but that. That was fantastic.
Don't throw me in the briar patch.
Mm-hmm. It's like, and the sad thing is, like, I mean, I really agree with what Isaak said last episode. Is like, I mean, had they met under different circumstances, I truly feel like they really, honestly, could have been friends.
This is something that I didn't quite get. Is at one point Isaak tells Dexter that he sees in Dexter that Dexter does not necessarily have to kill Isaak. That he's not doing it for the blood. He's not doing it for revenge. And my thought to that was, since when?
Well, no. It's like Dexter has to kill. It doesn't necessarily have to be him. I mean, it'd be nice, but it's like he has no vested interest in, oh, I have to kill, this person in particular. It's like, this person disappears. Okay, I'll go find someone else and kill them. Whatever.
He wasn't going after Isaak because Isaak was some great evil. He was going after Isaak because Isaak was after him. He was just trying to eliminate a threat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's kind of where I'm coming from on this one. It's like, and yes, I mean, obviously Isaak is a killer, but at this point in the game, that's not really eliminating a whole lot of people that Dexter knows.
Yeah,
It's kind of sad when Isaak died because Dexter never gets to keep any of his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's dating a killer currently.
Yeah. Who is like, I mean, I was surprised. It's like, well, wait, where did you want to go to first? Like, I know something that I definitely want to bring up that I thought was cool.
I wanted to bring up how come well, you know what? I'm going to keep that until later. Go on. Go ahead.
All right. Dexter's kill at the shooting range.
Yes.
I did not expect that. It's like I thought he was on just his preliminary. Let's see what's up. It's like I didn't expect Dex to just straight up kill him there and then. I mean, a brazen daylight out in the open kill. Boom, done. That was, oh man, that was nice. That was nice. It kind of seemed un-Dexter-like. I mean, because Dexter normally likes cleaner kills than that without a whole lot of, messy things left behind, like blood and bodies and whatnot. But damn, that was cool to see.
My thought is a shooting range like that has to have cameras, right?
That's what I
thought. A lot of shooting ranges don't. It's like, having gone to a lot of shooting ranges myself, the ones that I the main one that I go to, it has cameras, not a whole lot of them.
Yeah, the only one I went to did not have a camera. So,
yeah. Welcome, David.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, so the idea of a shooting range without a camera isn't an entirely alien thing.
Now, on the second kill, did you consider the second kill kind of a ripoff? Because this guy knew that a trap was happening. He didn't realize that the trap was towards him, but he had to have known something was up, right?
I don't think he did. It's like, I mean, based on the information he had at that time, Isaac and Dexter are like these two mortal enemies, you know? Isaac just wants nothing more than to kill this dude. So it's like, that's what he's going on. It's like, I mean, I think it was the furthest thing from his mind, the possibility that these two are working together to kill me. I don't see how he could have came up with that on his own.
I wonder why he would follow him onto the boat, though.
I was just about to say, why was he going to kill Dexter?
Wasn't he just trying to follow him to find Isaac? Why, like, basically, the only reason to follow someone down into a boat that's not being looked at by anyone is to kill them.
My thought was not necessarily following him onto the boat. Following him onto the boat makes sense to me. It's following him to the front of the boat, into the open with him when Dexter was not his target.
Yeah.
That kind of upset me. That
part didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's
but
like
I mean, I don't know. That was not the only times I felt ripped off this particular episode. But like things like getting the location of where Hannah was from a soccer ball, that made me feel that felt ripped off or contrived to me.
As a skip tracer, I've come up with locations for people with far less than that.
Okay.
With far less, it's like, I mean, that made sense based off of what he knew and what he was able to dissemble. It's like, I mean, his logic was sound to me. That's a lot of the same logic I'd use in order to find someone back in my skip tracing days. So that logic was actually sound. I had no issue with that.
Now that we have Isaac gone, like completely out of there, we know he's not the big bad.
Yes, and can I say that I was right about that?
Yeah, David called it.
I totally called that.
Yeah, but it happening the way it did is like, of all the people to kill Isaac fucking George? Really? It's like you have this great character and fucking George just walks along. Well, the two trained killers I said to kill you didn't kill you, so I'm just going to kill you myself. Bang! Haha, bitch. Really? That's how it ends?
I think it's still to be determined if Hannah's going to end up as the big bad. But we know LaGuerta is getting closer now.
Yeah, I think LaGuerta is a bigger problem than Hannah is.
And there's 3 episodes left. I mean, lots going to happen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The next episode is, if history holds, the next episode is going to be good, but the episode after that is going to be astounding, and then with a great season finale.
Yeah, that would hold true with tradition pretty well.
Well, we already know that the last episode is going to be awesome because it's called Surprise, Motherfucker. That's the name of the episode.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the episode with a name like that. It's like, I mean, especially now that we're hearing a lot more about, dokes and whatnot. I think a lot of things that happened back in season 2 are about to come back to haunt Dexter, and that's in large part of what this particular season has been about. There's been a lot of past events brought back up that have affected Dexter's life currently, and the whole thing with Dokes and Lila and whatnot, that was a major step in Dexter's history. So it makes sense to bring that up and for it to have a significant impact as we move on to the final season next year.
And another thing that I found as kind of a cop-out, I liked this episode. I just thought there were a lot of cop-outs in it. Another thing I saw as a cop-out was the kids. As we talked last week about how we would end up having the kids for the rest of the season, it seemed like.
Yeah, we should have known better. What were we thinking?
We just like, nope, no kids anymore. Kids are non-issue.
They just weren't in the episode.
No, they were sent back to Orlando.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was said. The kids are officially back in Orlando.
I missed that. Okay.
Now, I want to get back to who the big bad is. Do we think Hannah is the big bad, or do we officially have LaGuerta as the big bad?
It was like I think that the show's finally moving away from the whole big bad format. It's just a bunch of things that happen. The big situation that's going to become a problem leading into the eighth season is going to be LaGuerta believing that Dexter is a killer. That's going to be it. But it's like we have to get out of this big bad mentality. It's been very clear from the outset that's not what they're doing anymore.
I would agree with that, except for that I think Dexter got way too close and personal with Hannah, and I just don't think that's going to end well.
Yeah, it's like might not end well, but it's like it's nothing like big bad status or something like that. To clarify, when I'm saying big bad, I mean an overarching villain of an entire season that the entire season centers around.
Well, I think this time it's the Koshkas.
This doesn't have one.
Whatever they're called, the Koshkas. What's the name of that gang?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ukrainian mob.
Ukrainian mob. I don't think they're done. I think George is definitely an open end, and I think that he knows about Dexter, so to an extent. So I think the Koshkas are going to come back after Dexter still.
What reason would they have to? It's like, think about it from George's perspective. Victor was a loose cannon anyway. He said so himself. The only person that had this whole blood feud against Dexter was Isaak, who is dead. What's their motivation of going after Dexter? It seems to me that as far as George is concerned, his bigger problem is
Quinn.
Is Quinn. That's his problem. I don't think he's giving a flying fuck about Dexter at this point.
Yeah,
well, that's just it. Is I can see Quinn going after George and then making Dexter have to go after George in response. Because if Quinn is killed, Dexter has to respond.
Yeah.
And the entire Geeks of the Round would rejoice.
No kidding.
Unless we have a fan of Quinn. Todd, are you a fan of Quinn?
Not necessarily. He's a little more interesting this year than he's been in prior seasons.
Which is not saying a lot.
No. I like him more than I did previously, though.
Yeah.
The good news is he was mostly absent from this particular episode. The bad news is so was Batista.
Yeah, yeah. Less Batista is a bad thing to me. It's like I really like Angel Batista. It's like, and Quinn wasn't there that much during this episode, but I will admit that I started cracking up laughing when he threw George through that window and started beating his ass. It was like, I just thought that was funny.
I thought he was going to kill him right there. I really did.
Yeah, you never know.
And now, my thought is that this serial arsonist storyline is almost an excuse to get everybody in one particular shot. Like, they have to have a little bit of Batista, and they have to have a little bit of Quinn, and so that's why they have this secondary storyline, is to try and get them all together. Does anyone think that it's someone other than the inspector? No? Everybody agrees it's the inspector?
Yeah, so far that's the only person that makes sense.
Okay.
That's seriously the only person that makes sense. I mean, you kind of just introduce this brand new character and throw him to the mix. Come on, man. It's like, we know the rules of TV. It's like, it's possible for them to throw a swerve at us at the last second, but that would be kind of dumb. It really has to be him. That's the only thing that at least currently makes sense. Unless it's Rita, back from the dead. I don't know. Fuck it. And if they do that, by the way, I'm done with this show. I ain't even watching fucking next season. Fuck it. I'm done.
It could be the rest of Trinity's family.
Now that would be kind of funny. Yes, Trinity's son. That's totally what it is. Yeah. That would make sense. Then it's like the whole season 8 is all about, Dexter versus Trinity's son.
which Dexter had a chance to kill already anyway.
That would be horrible. That would be so horrible. Which means I'm not putting it past the writers of the show to do it.
All right, now I want to put out my wild speculation right now. Because I've been building this wild speculation over a few weeks. But I've added to it now. My wild speculation is that Season 8 will be Dexter on the run. LaGuerta will be the hunter of Dexter. Which, by the way, I thought it was kind of funny that Chief Matthews actually says, "Oh, you're a cop now?"
It's the same shit we were saying.
We've been saying that for like 2 months.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nice that someone else noticed that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Maria LaGuerta is magically a detective. When the fuck did that happen? I'll never know.
And that Hannah will end up getting caught doing something, and she'll turn state's evidence against Dexter.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is new.
I actually have an addition to your theory about Dexter going on the run. I agree with that. I don't agree with the Hannah part. I think she's going to be done by the end of this season. However, as you see, I wrote down there, Devin Dexter sitting in a tree. That's going to happen. I truly believe it, and that is going to really set the stage for Dexter versus Debra and really make their bond a lot stronger and more emotional, I guess. And so, you know, she's going to be tracking not just her brother, but also her lover.
I think
If
she's
they do that, I am done with the show. I will not be here during Geeks Around Season 8 if they do that. I swear to God, I'm done.
Well, here's the thing: is the second they kiss, Deborah's dead. That's the rules of TV.
Okay.
Would you come back if she was dead right after it happened? Say same episode?
Okay, yes, I would allow for that.
Okay.
I mean, because, like, do we still have any confirmation on whether or not Jennifer Carpenter signed on for another season?
No, nothing. I could have sworn that I read it before this season started, but I haven't been able to find that article.
All right, well, we're going to have to try to confirm that, just to see what's what. Then again, it's like, that information would be hard to find because that's a pretty big spoiler, I suppose. But it hasn't stopped them before, so...
So, you geeks of the round out there, let us know if you happen to have read that also, or have any sort of confirmation. Let us know. Help us find that info.
We would most appreciate it.
Because it's not on our Wikipedia and it's not on our IMDb that's going to be the case. Though we can make it part of her IMDb or her Wikipedia real fast.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. It wouldn't necessarily be true, but hey.
It can happen.
So I'm thinking that Hannah's going to turn evidence against Dexter, and now that Hannah kind of sort of knows that Debra knows, she might turn evidence against Debra, which is where my theory from last week of Debra being in jail and not dead comes from.
Okay, but here's the issue with Hannah turning state's evidence. Is like, she can say, oh yeah, it's like, I know Dexter's a killer. She has absolutely zero evidence to back that up. None at all. She can't point to something and say, oh, this is a place where a kill happened. She can't point to, this is a place where a body's buried. There is absolutely, positively nothing that she can do.
All right, Todd put something in the chat. Is that from last year or is that from this year?
It said 2 days ago, November 24th, 2012. A recent interview with Hollywood.com. The final. So this was after the November 11th episode. It says because they were talking to her about that.
Do you want to read it or shall I?
You go ahead.
Her quote is, "I'm excited to graduate from the show next year, but it's also like turning off the lights on something that has generated so much energy and excitement that it will be really hard. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet." That's the end of the quote. So apparently she will be back next year.
Okay. All right. So that eliminates that particular train of thought then.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. It's like, I mean, things can happen. It could be just a few episodes or whatever. But we'll just have to see what happens. But it's like, again, going back to the Hannah thing, it's like, I mean, in order to turn state's evidence, you actually have to have evidence, which she doesn't have. So
Yeah, but she could get evidence pretty easily. All she needs is
all she needs is what?
a tape recorder.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, it's not like he's hiding the information from her. He's talking to her pretty openly about it. I don't know. It's do we assume that Hannah has? I assume that Hannah knows that Deb knows Dexter's secret. Did everyone else come to that same conclusion?
Well, yeah. Well, she pretty much confirmed it in the hospital room for her.
Yeah. And I also speaking of Debra and Hannah, I thought it was a little strange how Debra ended up letting go of the whole Hannah thing so easily. I mean, she's pretty much gotten to the point where she's kind of on Dexter's side with everything. Some people have to be taken care of. She's convinced Hannah's one of those people, and yet she still called the ambulance.
I think she was. She's not okay with the whole Hannah thing. She was doing that because that's what Dexter would have wanted her to do. She was doing that purely for Dexter. Period. Like that had absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with Hannah or being a sign that she is accepting their relationship or anything. She does not accept their relationship. You know Debra better than that. She's the most stubborn and obstinate person on this entire show.
She's in love.
God.
Now, my thought on the writers getting them to actually kiss, like is Todd's theory, is that would be pretty mean of the writers, considering the two actors playing those parts are now divorced. That'd be a little messed up.
Well, they've been divorced for a long time. I'm sure they're over it by now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Having to see each other at work like every single day for half a year.
Yeah.
All right. I've already done my wild speculation. Anyone else have wild speculation?
Let me see. No, I think I did my main wild speculation next week because I don't really have anything to add to it.
Remind us.
Even I forget what it was at this point. That's just because I'm tired. This has been a long day.
How about you, David? You normally bring in some whoppers.
I still am hoping that Hannah will kill Deb.
Okay.
Despite that quote.
Well, that's just it. Is even if Deb is killed by Hannah, that does not necessarily mean that Debra would be off the show.
Right, still being flashbacks or
another like his father.
Yeah.
What do you think Deborah's last words will be? There's definitely fuck in it about 4 times.
I think her last words will be
Fuck.
Yeah. Definitely. If it comes down to it, it was like I really like that, Dexter being on the run theory is like, I mean, for the very, very last season, they have to do something to shake up the formula. They have to go. It's like, I mean, last season that's when you go balls to the wall. That's when all the rule you've already set up your rules, for the past 7 years or what have you. Season 8, it's your last season. Time to start breaking some rules. Break the mold. Get out.
Just don't go into lost territory where it's all a dream.
Oh yeah, please don't. It's like if at the end of the show they're in purgatory in a church somewhere, then I'm gonna have to pull a Dexter myself. You know what? Because fuck that.
Yeah. So we can go with the wild speculation of the house ending again, where he
Fakes his own death.
fakes his own death.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible, but I don't see that happening. I like your on the run theory.
How about you, Todd? Do you have any wild speculation?
I want it to go on the run, and I think they're gonna do it. That's it. That's where I think it's going. I think it's what I said before, and I know I want it to go on the run. I wanted it to go on the run when they had Mos Def on, and I thought he might be his like liaison or something, but
Uh-huh.
Mos Def.
Yeah,
Cool.
they kind of screw that up.
Well, unless anyone else has anything else, I think we can wrap up.
I'm good.
No? Okay. This has been episode 709 of Dexter Discussion, the inner circle, as it were. Next week we have episode 710, which is the dark whatever. That's the actual name, the dark whatever. In which we find out that Hannah does not have a dark passenger. Spoiler alert.
Ooh.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Not schizophrenic. Bad news.
So check us out, www.geeksoftheround.com. You can watch this video and all the other videos, including the Walking Dead videos and some of our old ones. You can check them out there. Subscribe to us, the whole 9 yards. And check us out next week. And from Geeks of the Round, peace.